It's that time of year again, and what better way to embrace the Christmas and holiday spirit than by exploring some of its strangest and most frightening legends? Admittedly, there are plenty of other ways to get into the festive mood, but let's dive into this one together. Let's begin with the first of three stories that originated from Iceland, a land seemingly fond of darker and mischievous Christmas tales. Grilla, a giantess or troll, was originally mentioned in the Prose Edda but has since become associated with Christmas. Her appearance is repulsive, a giant hag with a penchant for children. In some versions, she wanders the streets as a beggar, asking parents to give her their misbehaving children. However, her presence can be avoided by either driving her away or offering her food. Grilla was said to live in a small cottage, but the town chased her away, leading her to retreat to a secluded cave. However, she resurfaces during the Christmas period. Grilla has the ability to discern which children have been misbehaving, and when Christmas arrives, she knows precisely whom to target. She throws them into her giant bag and takes them home to make a delicious stew. Grilla also has 13 children known as the Yule Lads and a pet cat known as the Yule Cat. Now, you might think that Grilla's cat would be an ordinary feline, but you would be mistaken. The Yule Cat is an enormous feline with razor whiskers and claws that can shred through anything. Just like its owner, it has a taste for human flesh. During winter, it roams the snowy countryside, seeking out children who have not received new clothing for Christmas. This is why the tradition of giving new clothing as Christmas presents became prevalent in families. In addition to Grilla, children were also warned that if they hadn't worked hard enough throughout the year, they would be in danger of being devoured by the Yule Cat. Over time, as these traditions became more child-friendly, the story was slightly altered. Instead of eating the children who lacked new clothing, the Yule Cat would steal and consume their Christmas feast. Completing our trio of Icelandic stories, we have the 13 sons of Grilla, the Yule Lads, or as I like to call them, the Christmas mini-mad lads. Starting from the 12th of December, one Yule Lad arrives in town each night and remains there for 13 days, with the last one arriving on Christmas Eve. These mischievous troublemakers have names that reflect their annoying behavior, such as candle stealer, window peeper, sausage stealer, pot scraper, and personal favorites of mine, window licker and doorway sniffer. For the most part, they go around harassing people, making a mess, and causing as much mischief as possible. A tradition associated with the Yule Lads involves children leaving their shoes by the windowsill. If the children have been well behaved, the Yule Lads leave them presents in their shoes. However, if they have been naughty, they receive a potato instead. Originally, the stories of the Yule Lads were more violent and gruesome, similar to their mother's tales. But over time, they evolved into more comical and child-friendly characters. It's challenging to describe their appearance, but the best comparison would be a mix between the Seven Dwarfs and Santa's elves, only much more chaotic. In Italy, there is a story about a woman called La Befana. She is an old woman who delivers presents to children, similar to Santa Claus, but on the 5th of January. The name Befana is thought to derive from Epiphany, with the Feast of Epiphany taking place the day after she delivers her gifts. According to the legend, Befana was approached by 3 wise men who asked for directions. Known as the best housekeeper in the village, she offered them a place to stay for the night. The 3 wise men had a pleasant stay, and as a token of gratitude, they invited Befana to join them on their journey. Initially declining the offer due to her numerous tasks, Befana later changed her mind and set off to find the 3 wise men and visit baby Jesus. She collected various gifts to take with her, but unfortunately, her search was in vain. Guided by the stars, Befana began visiting the homes of all the children, leaving them presents. Her hope was to eventually find baby Jesus. This tradition continued, with Befana setting off at the same time every year to deliver presents to children. However, misbehaving children received a lump of coal, similar to Timmy. Befana is often depicted riding a broomstick, which she used throughout the year for housecleaning. But during the Christmas period, it became her preferred mode of transportation. Like Santa, she entered homes through chimneys, carrying a large hamper filled with sweets and presents. No list of Christmas creatures is complete without some grubby little goblins. In Greece and the Balkans, there are stories of the Kalakansaros, or the Galaganzeros, as they are known in their original form. These malevolent goblins live underground for most of the year and emerge during the 12 days of Christmas to cause chaos and kidnap children born on those days. Legend has it that they gnaw at the roots of the tree of life, attempting to destroy everything. During their 12-day period above ground, the tree has enough time to restore itself. The Kalakansaros are generally a big nuisance, entering houses, making a mess, and wreaking havoc. It is said that children born on the 12 days of Christmas can see and communicate with these creatures, with some even fearing that they could become one themselves. To protect their children, parents tie a small string of garlic cloves to them as a repellent. There are other precautions one can take to keep their house goblin free, such as burning things in the fireplace to make the chimney less accessible, as the smoke acts as a repellent. Another method is placing a colander outside the door, as the goblins feel compelled to sit down and count every hole in the colander. However, they can't say the number 3 out loud, as it is considered sacred, and uttering it would cause them to burst into flames. So they start counting again and again, leaving them counting and distracted all night. Interestingly, I also discovered a fascinating tradition related to goblin repellents. According to some family members, it is fairly common to throw a specific type of sausage and deep-fried dough doubles onto the roof as an offering or distraction to the goblins. Once the goblins are done with the food, they supposedly go away. So if you ever come across someone throwing sausages onto their roof during Christmas time, they might not be entirely sane, but they could be dealing with a minor goblin problem. And with that, we conclude this holiday special. I hope you've enjoyed these tales and legends. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays! And remember, it's best to stay away from anyone called window licker or doorway sniffer.